Hello everyone, Sigma7 here, and I hope you all had a happy Halloween last night. I don't know if I'd say I would, because I had to work last night, because of course, but I hope you guys had fun, with your trick-or-treating or Halloween parties, or just staying home watching your favorite horror movies. Wish I was doing that last night, but anyway, it's that time of year, and I've picked up quite a few stuff throughout the month of October. Some horror stuff and some just miscellaneous stuff. There were quite a few deals throughout the month of October, but with that being said, I'll just go ahead and get started with a couple DVDs I picked up. First up, we got the Coffin Joe Trilogy. I've only seen the first two movies in this set, like last year, At Midnight I'll Take Your Soul and This Night I'll Possess Your Corpse. Still haven't watched Embodiment of Evil, but yeah, the first two movies are horror classics. If you guys haven't seen these movies, check them out. Coffin Joe, one of the most underrated horror movie villains. I actually dressed up as him last night at work. Obviously, no one could tell who I was dressed up as. But sadly, the actor who plays Coffin Joe, who also was the director of these movies, he passed away last year. So, may he rest in peace. Next, we have a pretty obscure animated film. Well, okay, I don't know how obscure this is, considering it was independent. It came out only a few years ago, back in 2018. And the film I'm talking about is The Wolf House. This is a stop-motion animated horror film, I guess. And it's from Chile, I think. But, yeah, this was a really crazy animated feature that if you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out if you can. So, kind of wish there was a Blu-ray, but who knows. Alright, next up are, let's see, where do I want to do this? Okay. Here are a couple new releases that came out this year that I got. One I have seen and one I haven't. One I saw in theaters was Godzilla vs. Kong. I admit I'm not the biggest fan of the MonsterVerse films. I mean, they're entertaining and all that, but I'd say this is arguably one of the better ones, I think. I don't know, I have to watch them all just to make sure. But I did go see this in theaters, and I will admit it was a fun experience, especially with the ending. But at least you could actually see the monster fights this time. This one is a film I wanted to see, but I didn't get to see in theaters, and that is In the Heights. I'm a bit hit and miss when it comes to musicals, but I will say I am interested in this one. Apparently it's from the creator of Hamilton and the director of Crazy Rich Asians. So, it'll be interesting. I mean, a friend of mine says that this is his favorite film of this year. Next, we got a movie that you're probably wondering, is there a reason to even own this on Blu-ray? But whatever. The Blair Witch Project. I'll be honest, I have not seen this movie. I know it's considered one of those, like, iconic, necessary horror films that, if you're a fan of horror, you should definitely watch this. And I will, someday. Even if it's not during the Halloween season, I'll still end up watching it. Because who says you have to watch horror only during, Halloween? Next is a film distributed by Kino. That is Three Bad Men from 1926. This is one of John Ford's earlier films, I think. And by early, I'm not sure this is his first film or not, but it's definitely one of his earliest. But, in case you don't know, John Ford, he is known for directing a lot of iconic westerns like Stagecoach and The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, so I'll definitely be interested to see how he pulls off with this film. Next is a Blu-ray by Cohen, which I don't own any Cohen Blu-rays for a while, so it's strange. So this is my first one I got, and that is The Thief of Baghdad from 1924. It was just on sale, and I do like Arabian-type stories, so this should be interesting to check out. Next are two horror movie steelbooks that I picked up. I'm not usually the biggest steelbook collector, but I will occasionally get them if they're on sale. First up is Mandy, starring Nicolas Cage. I've heard some interesting things about this movie, and I will admit I do like me some over-the-top Nicolas Cage, so definitely can't wait to check this out. And the other one I picked up, this was on sale and I had to get it because I really love this movie, and that is One Cut of the Dead, a horror comedy that's kind of like Shaun of the Dead. In fact, it even says here, the best zombie comedy since Shaun of the Dead. And I agree, this film is absolutely hilarious. I don't know which one I like more. I definitely need to give this a second watch, but I mean, the story is that about a film crew who tries to film a zombie film, but then suddenly real zombies actually show up, so yeah. it's a good fun time. These next two horror movies I actually picked up simply based on James Rawls' Monster Madness series because they both piqued my interest. First up is The Lift from the Netherlands. I don't know, the premise just seems interesting. I mean, honestly, I kind of agree with James just based on his review of the film that this movie probably would be better if they took out the supernatural element. But that being said, I'm definitely curious to check this out. I hear, though, the English dub is pretty bad, so just gonna have to stick to the Dutch version, so... and then we got this Arrow Blu-ray, my second Arrow Blu-ray I own now, that being Mark of the Devil, a German horror film from the 70s, that I guess spurred quite a bit of controversy when it first came out, and based on James Rolfe video, I can kind of see why. But definitely curious to check this one out. Then a few Criterions. I didn't pick up a lot of Criterions, I only got 3. First up, we got The Cameraman from 1928, starring Buster Keaton. I've only seen a few Buster Keaton films, being Sherlock Jr. and The General, both of which I really enjoyed, and I definitely can't wait to check this one out. Kind of surprised Buster Keaton doesn't have too many films in the Criterion Collection, so interesting. Next, I got The Blob from 1958. My family and I, we actually did watch this month, and I actually really enjoyed it. Yeah, the Blob's not in the film that much. It definitely could have used more Blob. But it was still, for what it was going for, and the actors, overall, it was a pretty solid horror film. I hear the 80s one is supposed to be better, but I'll have to check that out some other time. And then finally, I got this really out-of-print Criterion. I was able to get it for a decent price on eBay. But it is a horror classic, and that is Rosemary's Baby. Yes, I know they did release a new Blu-ray version, but it's not Criterion, so I try to get the Criterion versions if ones exist, if I can. I know there's other Criterions that are now out of print, like Harold and Maude, Days of Heaven, Don't Look Now. So hopefully someday I'll be able to find them if they're on sale. Let's see. Okay. So next are some animations I picked up. First we got the Snoopy Collection. This is a collection of the 4 original theatrical movies they did. A Boy Named Charlie Brown, Snoopy Come Home, Race for Your Life Charlie Brown, and Bon Voyage Charlie Brown and Don't Come Back. I vaguely remember these movies as a kid, or at the very least I remember Race for Your Life Charlie Brown. But yeah, I don't hear people talk about these movies when they talk about the Peanuts. They always talk about the Christmas specials or any of the shorts, I guess. They hardly ever talk about these films, which is a shame because I remember these films being pretty good. So I'll have to wait and see. Next, I picked up Inuyasha, the final act, and the 4 movies because they were both on sale. I still need to pick up Inuyasha Set 5 and 6 now, and then I'll have the complete Inuyasha series, apart from the sequel series that came out recently, which I don't think you can get on Blu-ray at the moment. Next up is, I'll be honest, this is probably my pride and joy of the month, even though this isn't the last thing I have to show you guys, but this is my pride and joy of the month. I'm glad I finally have this. I've mentioned Avatar: Last Airbender is my favorite TV show ever, but if I had to pick another favorite, at least somewhere in the top 10, it's Gravity Falls. What can I say? I love the show. This is easily Disney's greatest animated series they ever put out. Second, in my opinion, being Gargoyles, but yeah, love the show. Can't wait to revisit it when I can, and I can't wait to check out the bonus content, see what it has to say. And by the way, I love how the individual Blu-rays, there are the journals. Season 1 is Journal 1, Season 2 is Journal 2, and the bonus content is Journal 3. So that's a really cool looking set. And then here's a documentary series I picked up that I've always wanted checked out, The World at War. This is regarded as one of the best documentary series based on World War II. And I did watch the first episode so far, and already I'm really invested in this. And I feel like talking about World War II, I know a lot of people don't like to talk about this history because they don't want to be offended and all that stuff, but it's still a very important part of history that everyone needs to know about, even if it's not the most, comfortable subject matter, but otherwise we'll just end up repeating history. And so the last couple things, I have some box sets I picked up, because, again, they were on sale, so I guess you could say I splurged a little this month. First up, we got the Marx Brothers collection. This was like $14, I think, so, yeah, really good deal for only 5 movies. The Coconuts, Animal Crackers, Monkey Business, Horse Feathers, and Duck Soup. I have never seen a Marx Brothers film, so I definitely can't wait to check these out. I know my parents are fans of them. Next, I picked up the Wreck collection. I've only picked this up simply for the first movie because I love Wreck. It's one of my favorite horror films. It's easily the best found footage film. I hear Wreck 2 is alright. Actually, here, let me pull these out. So we got, Wreck. Then we got Wreck 2, which I hear Wreck 2 is supposed to be a decent sequel. At least Your Movie Sucks says it is. As for Wreck 3, Genesis, and Wreck 4 Apocalypse, I hear these movies are apparently garbage, so... But it's a shame that this is literally the only way I could get the first film is to get this set. But it's a nice box set, and yeah. I'll probably still have to watch those one day. And now, for the final thing, and apart from Gravity Falls, this is the other big grand thing I picked up this month because it was on sale. And that is the Universal Classic Monsters. All 30 of the classic monster films are on here. We got Dracula, both the American and the Spanish version, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Invisible Man, The Bride of Frankenstein, Werewolf of London, Dracula's Daughter, Son of Frankenstein, The Invisible Man Returns, The Mummy's Hand, The Invisible Woman, The Wolfman, The Ghost of Frankenstein, Invisible Agent, The Mummy's Tomb, Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman, Phantom of the Opera, Son of Dracula, The Invisible Man's Revenge, The Mummy's Ghost, House of Frankenstein, The Mummy's Curse, House of Dracula, She-Wolf of London, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, Abbott and Costello Meet the Invisible Man, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Revenge of the Creature, Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy, and The Creature Walks Among Us. So, a lot of classic monsters. I've seen only a few movies in this set, and they are definitely have an important place in horror culture, so yeah. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed what I picked up. Hope y'all had some good pickups for those who are Blu-ray collectors like myself. And now that things have calmed down a little, for the most part, I'm hoping throughout this month of November, I'm going to try, keyword try, to get back to work on Heroes with Villains. I did get a couple fights done this past month, so my goal is to try to get at least part 1 of round 2 up this month, or at the very latest by Christmas. That, as well as the trailer. I have another trailer that I'm in the works of, so do expect that sometime soon. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you all had a happy Halloween. Later.